Mumbai studios of Republic TV, it's time for Arnab Goswami on The Debate.
Arnab Goswami on The Debate at 10, powered by RP Sanjeev Goenka Group.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. 2 days back, when India banned 59 Chinese apps, we told you it won't just stop there. There is more to come. We said that, and today we got a glimpse. From 4G upgradation to highway projects, India is slowly but surely showing the door to Chinese firms. Beijing should now brace itself for complete economic and diplomatic isolation. Let's debate.
With 119 million active users, the Beijing-based TikTok was widely popular across India. But that doesn't stop the Indian government to give it back to the Chinese for its LAC misadventures. The ban on 59 apps in India is making the Chinese very nervous.
中方对印方有关公告表示强烈关注，正在了解核实情况。我想强调，中国政府一贯要求中国企业在遵守国际规则和当地法律法规的基础上开展对外合作。印度政府有责任根据市场原则。
Prime Minister Narendra Modi is walking the talk. He's deleted his account from Chinese social media platform Weibo 5 years after he joined it.
Prime Minister has now initiated the process to leave this Chinese app Weibo. It is a bit of a complex process to leave. That's why we are being told that the Prime Minister's account has been deactivated, but he will completely leave this site in next couple of hours. We are seeing that it's a continuous process. Government of India is now hitting back digitally.
But this is just the beginning. India is hitting where it hurts the most. A multi-ministry strategy is ensuring that China is completely isolated. BSNL has decided to cancel tenders for 4G upgradation, and the new norms will put more focus on Make in India, a strong message ahead of the 5G trials. Government has also decided to keep Chinese firms away from highway projects and has also ensured there is no Chinese investments in MSMEs. Government has signalled Beijing Chinese dependency will be cut down, and Atmanirbhar Bharat is the way forward.
Be it Ayushman Bharat, be it UPI payment, all have become milestone of success. Again, homegrown technology, Indian entrepreneurs, Indian intellectual capacity, and proud Indian creators.
The Atmanirbhar Bharat process has begun. TikTok's Indian substitute Chingari has witnessed a surge in downloads.
Our official Play Store numbers have crossed 5 million downloads now. Unofficially, we are sitting at around 7.5 to 8 million downloads. We are getting, as we speak, we are getting 400,000 downloads. That is 4 lakh downloads every hour. And I think this is just in the 10 a.m. in the morning. During the day, I'm expecting at least 1 million downloads an hour. So this is gonna, just keep on surging, and all the TikTok users will migrate to us.
Step-by-step isolation of China, along with strengthening our own resources, India has resolved to ensure that the Chinese pay for their grave provocation. Let's debate.
Tenzin Sundu, if I can start with you. There is a sense of disbelief, Tenzin, among the pro-China lobby that we're actually blocking all their apps, that we are cancelling all their contracts, that we are keeping them away from profiting on our telecom waves. There is a sense of disbelief, Tenzin. The pro-China lobby cannot believe that we are doing this. I just want to understand from you, why do you think they have a sense of disbelief? You know, people like Vivek Jinping. Why do they have a sense of disbelief?
The Chinese always underestimated Indians. The Chinese always looked down on the Indians. And therefore they hated today when we are coming back against them. And showing
Vivek, after him, please. Thank you. Vivek, after him, please. Thank you. Vivek, after him. That's not your name. I spoke to Tenzin. So please, don't be in a hurry. Relax. Take a deep breath. Tenzin, continue.
Yes. So this is a time we are standing up against China bullying. And this is the time we are standing together. We are standing strong. We have given our first signal. We have given our first step, that is banning 59 Chinese apps, and now stopping Chinese investment in road construction also. I'm sure India has a number of other means, ways to come together and give China a bloody nose. It is economic response, it's political response. There will be diplomatic responses also, but we are standing up against China's bullying, and we will get there.
Yeah, Vivek, after you, I'd like you to debate with Anand. Okay, Anand, please come on the debate. I felt today that the Prime Minister removing his Weibo account was brilliant. That the Prime Minister's account in China went blank after his photo posts and comments were removed from the handle. I think that was a very clear message to the Chinese. Vivek, that we will not share any platform till you change your line on the ground. I think it was a good move. And Vivek, I wonder what argument you can have against it. Yes, please, Vivek.
I'll tell you what arguments I have. You're not prepared. The car you drive, Mr. Goswami, has got 40% parts which are made in China. What are you planning to do? 80%
No,
of the
I don't.
supply chain management is managed
No,
by
I
Chinese
don't.
products.
I don't drive a Chinese car.
You put in a stop to this. There is
I don't drive a Chinese car. Yeah.
No. What about the price rise?
Yeah.
What about the price rise for the poor
price
people,
rise is all right. We will
6 years
price
say
rise.
100% FDI.
Okay, no, 1 second. The first point is the question of
6
dependency.
years 100% FDI.
No.
And suddenly the Prime Minister wakes up and says, Atmanirbhar Bharat.
Okay, so was there a rule?
You know, it's a joke
Vivek,
going on.
Vivek, thank you.
This nation has become a joke. The Prime Minister comes at 8 o'clock.
Vivek, counter.
And we do not know what is the next shock he's going to give it to us.
Arnab,
Vivek, be brief.
Can I come in here?
My point is, he raises the question, Anand, about you were having 100% FDI. And now you're suddenly saying that you will not allow the Chinese to come in. And it's so wrong. It's so terrible. I just wonder whether there was anywhere where we said that you can continue to invest 100% FDI and challenge our sovereignty. Did we give any such guarantee, Anand?
No, 100%.
A minute, please. A minute, please. See, Vivek, Anand is responding. Professor Basu has not spoken, right? So it'll only be fair in the nature of the debate, right? Okay. It's not a member of it's not a meeting of your Chinese Communist Party going on. Yes, please, Anand.
Arnab, with due respect to Vivek, he is like a Chipkali, sister of the Chinese dragon. You know, he's got this heckling honors degree from WhatsApp University. Vivek, please don't mind. The issues are twofold, Arnab, and let me go a little bit of detail.
What about the price rise?
Are bhai, Vivek, please. Now, Arnab, the issue is two-pronged. One, economically, which I'll come to in a minute. But more than that, it is also a moral and ethical issue. And here,
you see, let's not have a juvenile debate out here, Vivek. Thank you, please. We have a reasonable debate. Thank you.
Arnab, we can't continue.
No, we can.
Now, Vivek, now you... yes, right. Vivek, you can heckle me all you want, but before you do that, I just request you to answer me one question. Will you do that, my good friend? I am pleading with you. I am going to ask you a question, and I will plead with you to kindly answer it.
Okay.
Will you do that for me, for my sake?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure.
Right. Thank you, Vivek. The question is as follows. Yes. Thank you. The question is, Vivek, do you unequivocally condemn the internment in concentration camps by China of 1 million Uyghur Muslims?
Okay. I do not. I do not. Because if there is a communal problem in any country, they have their own
There we go.
with it. And
there we go. Arnab, did you see this?
Oh, I saw that. Everybody across the country saw it. Yeah, I was watching
keenly. These are the people who say Jai Bhim, Jai Meme.
No,
they fight for minority rights. They fight for Muslims. And here is this Chipkali, who is not even willing to condemn when there is absolute proof of not only China interning 1 million Uyghur Muslim in concentration camps, but Xi Jinping saying, I'm quoting him, be ruthless with them.
And that's
Number two, they are making the Uyghur Muslim women infertile. They are feeding pork to the Muslims. They are forcing them to drink alcohol. And yet this Chinese Chipkali, says he does not condemn China committing these atrocities. I hope all the minorities who are listening to this communist right now take note of his hypocrisy. इसको ऐसा पकड़ा गया आज. My dear friend has been caught with his pants down.
So what he is basically saying is, Tenzin's enjoying the debate as well. Tenzin also wants to come in. Viewers, 2 versus 2 on the debate at this point. 1 second. Very interesting point here. Tenzin wants to add. Yeah, Tenzin, why don't you? Tenzin, why don't you?
Yes.
Why don't you? Why don't you?
Vivek spoke about communal problems in China. What China is doing in Tibet, East Turkestan, Mongolia, these are not communal problems. These are blatant occupation. 70 years of blatant occupation of these countries. China is mining in these countries, taking mineral resources to China, making cheap made in China products and selling it to India and various other countries. This is blatant occupation. It's not communal problem. And if you're talking about boycott made in China products,
the Uyghur problems I'm talking about is a communal problem.
And
today we are making a decision.
Here's one minute. Basically, Professor Basu, I will not accuse Vivek Srivastava of being a traitor. Let me repeat the words, Professor Basu. I will not accuse Vivek of being a traitor. I will not accuse him of being disloyal to his motherland, which I hope he still thinks is India. But I will be extremely worried today when we have actually, I'm so proud that Nitin Gadkari came and said that even if you have joint ventures who are Chinese for road construction, I will not allow it. You know what I loved about the comment, Professor Basu, was the straightforwardness of it. You can debate with Anirban or with Kapil Gupta. The straightforwardness of it. We have told the Chinese today, Professor Basu, you will have no role in our telecom industry. You will have no role in our highway projects. And there is a global chain reaction we are unleashing. Yes, Professor Basu.
The important point to note is that China has massive overcapacity in most of its industries. They have huge overcapacity in steel, cement, aluminium, and the second biggest producer of all these products in the world is India. India is the second biggest producer of steel, cement, aluminium. But because China has overcapacity, it is dumping its capacity in the rest of the world, including in India. So the fact that we've got this opportunity is great for the Indian economy, because we must now put anti-dumping duties on Chinese products, because they are indeed being dumped in India. They're being dumped all over the world. The United States has recognized this and has started imposing anti-dumping duties on China. We need to do the same. And this will be a huge boost to our own industries, which are in fact very competitive with the rest of the world. But unfortunately, we are faced with a Chinese economy where there is essentially zero cost of capital for their state-owned enterprises, and they are able to export their products below cost, make no profits, but keep getting more and more credit from their banking system in order to keep producing more. So the fact that we were operating in an economy where China was able to dump their stuff in our market was actually a perversion. This national security threat has now given us an opportunity to do the rational thing and keep Chinese products out of the Indian economy and thereby build the Atmanirbhar Bharat that our Prime Minister has been speaking of for the past month and a half.
Yes.
This is a tremendous opportunity.
Yeah, and I think it's already having an impact, Kapil. I was looking at the statement of the Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Zhao Lijian yesterday after we banned the 59 apps. And it's surprising that Indians find the 59 app ban funny. It's not. It was extremely serious. If they only bothered to look at the statement of the Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson, they are now saying, oh, but the practical cooperation between India and China in various fields, they are saying, is mutually beneficial. The same man who was saying day before yesterday, Anand Ranganathan, that we can brutalize any number of Indian soldiers, is now saying, let's work together. It's a win-win. It's a win-win. Let's not disrupt the current cooperation between the two countries. The same person, Anand, who was saying till day before yesterday that we will cross the border, we will come onto your side, we will unleash our waters and our people, Anand, is now saying, no, let's work together. Did you notice that, Anand? Anand on the screen, please. Anand?
Absolutely.
You noticed that, yeah? And
yes. Arnab,
did you notice that, Kapil?
Yes, we did notice it, and we also noticed the fact.
Arnab, I think there is another play to look at into this.
We noticed the fact.
I think what has happened over the last some time is, there is this old saying: have your war cry louder than your bang, and you may actually win the war. I think the banning of the applications right now is nothing more than a war cry. Where does that lead us is really the question.
No.
Is it going to be because of cyber security? Is it data stealing?
Kapil, I have a counter to you. Kapil, I have a counter to you. Since you are a consultant and you have your own digital marketing agencies, etc., and you're a net exporter to China, may I clarify here? Right? You are a net exporter to China.
Yes, I am.
Right. Yeah. So you have your own personal business interests also to take care of, right?
Yeah, but it's exported.
It's all right. So no, I'm just adding that as a rider. So let's not say that you're an uninterested party, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you are saying therefore that this is our bark is today. He's arguing today, Anand, that our bark is bigger than our bite. That's what you're saying, right?
I'm saying if our bark is going to get notice, right, it's the right thing to do.
Okay, Anand's responding to you. Anand.
Yes, I think this gentleman is quite right. And the fact also remains, Arnab, that China as well as Chinese chipkalis out here severely underestimated India's resolve right now. Now they understand India is not going to climb down. What we need right now is what we needed maybe decades ago, because you see the problem is China being a dictatorship, being underhanded, supporting its companies, manipulating currencies, troubling millions of people around the world, doing things underhand, actually integrated itself slyly and so completely in global supply chain that to suddenly come out of it might hurt us as well. So we have to
think. Stealing your data or not? That is the big question.
Now, is that the same guy? Is that the same guy who 5 minutes ago was brutally exposed as a Chinese minion, unwilling to accept, unwilling to sympathize with Muslims being
gallery by reading the American.
RP is on the debate.
You were so caught with your pants down, Vivek.
That's your problem.
You weren't expecting to answer that question.
RP is now on the debate with Anirban.
You are an Islamophobe.
RP is on the debate right now with Anirban. Anirban. Okay, Professor Basu. Professor Basu saying something. Yes. Professor Basu.
Yes. there is no basis for
Professor
defending
Basu and
China.
Anirban.
Throughout the world economy, China is a source of disruption because China's own premier, Prime Minister of China, Wen Jiabao, said the Chinese economy is unstable, uncoordinated, and unsustainable in the year 2007, at a time when China's steel capacity was about a third of what it is today. China's own Prime Minister was worried about the overcapacity being created then. Since then, China has tripled its capacity. This is an irrational economy that continues to grow its own production without considering where there is demand for it. And as a result, it has disrupted the whole world economy. It has caused the prices of steel, etc., to collapse around the world because it is supplying steel at below the cost of its own production in China. Now, this nonsense must stop. And this is occurring in industry after industry. The world is unable to see new investment spending. So the fact that we now have China being reined in, not only by India, but by the United States and by various other economies, is a wonderful thing. It is the most rational thing to happen.
Absolutely.
And it is now going to ensure that we can actually begin to see a proper investment-led recovery in the Indian economy as well.
If I may add one point to it, let me take you all back to give you an analogy here. Anirban, the year is 1974. Okay? It's called Rumble in the Jungle. George Foreman versus Muhammad Ali. Okay?
Right.
And George Foreman was an undefeated but unpopular boxing champion of the world. And Muhammad Ali won by a knockout. The world was rooting for Muhammad Ali then. And I'm telling you, in this Rumble in the Jungle, we are boxing down the bully. And believe me, the psychological impact of what's going on right now. Do you think, Anirban, reasonably, that what is happening today on our border, that we are fighting them, we have lost our men, we are hitting them back, we are blocking them, we are blocking their digital economy, blocking them in road construction, we are going to block them in pharmaceuticals, telecom, manufacturing. The whole world is cheering for India, I can tell you today. Because the whole world is cheering for India. You may not think so today, but understand what's happening across the world. Our stature is growing by the minute. RP is on the debate. RP.
What is happening in America?
RP is on the debate. RP.
Huawei and ZTE has been banned. So it is a rippling effect which has started. TikTok is next in America. But just wait for time. What India has initiative India has taken is going to have a rippling effect worldwide. Be prepared for that. And especially you and your other friend, both the kangaroo child of the China, Joe is your kind of Joe is both are Joes of the kangaroo. Stop playing games. And I'm telling you today,
we have conceded to the fact.
Be prepared.
Whether it is a fact, we do not know that the Chinese have crossed the territory to come into our
Same point again. Okay, RP. RP again, please.
It's complete world which has started supporting the Indian cause. People are just waiting. They were waiting. Someone should take initiative, and they're supporting the Indian initiative now.
Is that they are dissatisfied by these government's measures? That is
all right, thank you.
Arey sir, aap to kangaroo ke bache hain. You are a kangaroo child. You behave like a kangaroo child.
Thank you. I go back to Tenzin Sundu. Tenzin Sundu is on the debate right now. Tenzin, for a more evolved discussion than that, I ask you today, you observe global influences quite closely. And may I bring you into the debate with Vivek. But Vivek, please hear him, please. Tell me, I have a feeling here, Tenzin, but you are more experienced than me, that when we say there's a crisis of leadership in India, I am seeing a completely different narrative across the world where people are saying, wow, the world's largest democracy is taking on China. And when people are saying here in India, some of these people, Lutyens, Portals and all are saying military talks won't deter the bully. But across the world, people are beginning to take note of the fact that we are taking very clear determined, and most importantly, Tenzin, progressive action with the Chinese. In a conflict, you don't have to reveal all your cards at the first stage. You'll progressively reveal it. Right? There'll be an element of surprise. What do you think, Tenzin? Can you please throw some light on this?
Yes. Number one, India as the biggest democracy in the world, we are today, India as the biggest democracy of the world is fighting the biggest dictatorship in the world.
Yeah.
Modi ji is fighting the Hitler of today's world, that is Xi Jinping. So Xi Jinping and Hitler put together is Hitler.
You do not know the difference
So
in fascism and communism.
India as the
Tenzin,
biggest
you don't know the difference in fascism
fighting
and
the
communism.
biggest dictatorship. So China has occupied all these countries. Today China is bullying on Hong Kong. We must support them. China is threatening to invade Taiwan. India must support Taiwan. There is political solution also, and that is to recognize that as a free and independent country, because once Tibet becomes free and independent, China would be thrown almost about 1,000 kilometers away from the Himalayas. So this will truly then become India and Tibet.
Yeah.
And India would be relieved from the Chinese bullying. And this is what we are looking for.
I think, Tenzin, you have very limited knowledge of the international politics.
PK Basu is on the debate right now. PK Basu, Vivek.
You do not know that word.
PK Basu, Professor PK Basu can teach you a thing or
China
two,
has
Vivek.
border disputes not only with India, but it has border disputes with the Philippines, with Malaysia.
You can never
It has slapped Singapore 3 years ago. It has just today, they have introduced a new national security law into Hong Kong. So really around the world, wherever you look, China is close to war with virtually everybody. And it is very important to understand that we are not alone. We are leading the world's democracies against the Hitler of today's world, the dictatorship of Xi Jinping, who has made himself president for life of China. He is having made himself president for life. He is fighting with all his neighbors. He told Donald Trump that Korea used to be part of China. This is the most ridiculous historical nonsense. There is something called a 9-dash line which he has imposed in the South China Sea. Nobody else agrees with this. But this is what China is trying to do. It is trying to grab territory wherever it can, and there is now a pushback. The most genuine pushback it has faced anywhere in the world is from Modi's India. Thank goodness. 3 cheers for India standing up and ensuring that our borders cannot be violated.
Power. Border disputes is one thing, being imperialistic is another. It's the United States of America which is expansionist and imperialistic.
Professor
it is they who interfere.
China is the most imperialistic. China began imperialism by invading Tibet on the 7th of October 1950. That was the beginning of imperialism. The last remaining colony in the world is Tibet. Not just Tibet, but also East Turkestan and Inner Mongolia. These are all territories that were completely free. They were free and independent. China is an imperial power. China is an imperial power. It is seeking to expand all over the world.
I also found it very fascinating. I found it very fascinating, Anand, that the global ring fencing also began. You know, you have had the US Federal Communications Commission designating Chinese telecom companies Huawei and ZTE as national security risks. So, you know, Kapil, my last point to you is when you said this won't impact, the European Union has condemned China's actions in Hong Kong. Australia is upping defense in the Indo-Pacific region,
and
building up its missile strength.
The German court has said about Huawei.
I have.
Whatever it is called.
I have, and 27 countries, as you rightly said, 27 countries issued a joint statement at the Human Rights Council condemning the treatment of Uyghur Muslims in Xinjiang. So my point to you is, Kapil, this is going to start with India, not be limited to India. The global ring fencing economically starting with India, not being limited to India.
As I said earlier, I like the bark, I'm yet to see the bite.
One minute. Does the removal of China from construction projects in India
I
amount
think
to a
let's
bite? Or is it a buck? Bite or buck?
It's still a buck.
Buck.
It's still
Okay.
a buck.
Okay.
Unless
Second
you
question.
show
Second
me
question.
three
Second
sectors
question.
where we
Allow
are
me to.
more competitive
Allow me.
vis-a-vis Chinese companies.
Allow
I can't see a
me.
bite.
Allow me. Now let me see how smart you are. When the government told BSNL cancels the tender for rolling out the 4G network after the DOT order, right? Says no go to Chinese gear. Okay. Is there a bark or a bite?
Sure. It's see, as I said,
No, is it a bark or a bite? I'm sorry.
I can do the same work competitively.
No, I am asked. No. Now you're exposed. You are linking your personal economic interests with China to the position and analysis of the present situation. Come on.
No, absolutely not. I don't have any personal
beyond
interest
the bar,
in terms
we
of
are
the trade
holding the
deficit or what happens. I don't do
China's
India-China
in between
business
our teeth.
from...
No, but not allowing...
We are going to bite it hard now.
I think China needs a pair of dentures. You know what happens is, Kapil, sometimes when you lose your teeth, you go to the dentist.
Vivek
he gives
can
you
lend
something
them.
to bite on.
Vivek can lend them those.
That's called a bite.
Prepared. 6 years of 100% FDI, 6 years of privatization.
Vivek Srivastava should be taken as the dentist
You killed your PSU.
for Xi Jinping. I thank you very much. Don't worry about the Chinese economy so much. Vivek Jinping, see you later. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. And